Alright guys, time to explain what I'm working on here. Most golfers tend to get closed, and it causes you to rip the club inside and reroute it over the top, which causes you to hit a glancing blow. And I'm going to get into this in detail a little bit more later, but I'm the opposite. I get the club ripped inside because of my hands. I get the face open, and then I have to recover and either flip an early release or I end up hitting a block. So what I'm working on is trying to get the club out away from me and get a little bit more upright. Although it may not look like much to you, it's a lot to me. And judging by my flight and the feel of the golf swing, I can understand what's going on. I don't need TrackMan to see my numbers. I grew up figuring it out on my own. What you'll see is I'm starting to work the club up and out, and by doing so, I get a little bit more upright, my ball flight gets a little higher, and my miss becomes a pull left. As you watch my golf swing and you say, John, you're almost hitting yourself in the back shoulder with your swing. What do you mean you're getting more upright? One thing that I know about my body type, I have very short arms and legs. You sit next to me at a bar and you think I was 6'3", but when I stand up, I'm 5'8". So I'm never going to get the height and the depth on my golf swing that I'm looking for. I can only do it a degree or so at a time. And a simple way to tell, because people were asking and making fun of me saying, upright, what are you talking about? Is to take some electrical tape and put it on the bottom of the face while you're practicing. You're going to see here that the marks on the electrical tape are starting to make their way out on the toe. So I know my club's at 3 degrees flat. That means I'm probably swinging it maybe 2, maybe even 1 degree flat. Another thing that I've heard from teachers online is, why do you want to get more upright? Upright's a bad word in golf. Well, what those teachers probably don't understand, or maybe even have never seen before, is upright, for me, is success. I get stuck under, and under is just as bad. I don't love the sound on the video I'm about to cut to, so I cut a lot of it out and decided to go back to this old video to show you. But here's an explanation of how bad over is, but it can cause under at the same time. I know. I don't have a great golf swing. I don't need to hear from the online teachers saying, why would you ever work over the top? That's clearly a teacher that doesn't understand that under is just as bad as over. You watch all these guys online teaching all these drills and saying, try this and try that. Well, if you don't understand your golf swing and you don't understand your miss, all those drills are going to do nothing but F you up. That's where these come in, right? The alignment sticks. These are here for a reason. I'm working on ball position, and I'm working on being less stuck underneath. Stuck underneath comes to me from my legs being weak and not being strong enough to support my old golf swing that went this way. Now, unfortunately, I go this way and I get here and I'm stuck underneath, which is just as bad. The average amateur sets up closed, which forces the club to come inside. Once it's here, they reroute it over the top. That ends up with a glancing blow, right? Across, creating spin and slice, costing you distance. What I'm trying to work on, ball position, I'm using the white, and then the ball in the middle of that. And then I'm using this to help me get out away from myself, because I'm always going to drop and go this way. Gets me into a better position. A lot of people don't understand that this can lead to multiple different things. It can lead to you going this way and hitting that dreaded straight ball into the left trees. But most people, it leads to a glancing blow with the face open, which leads to that spinny fade. And then you get some of the guys that do this over the top, get here and realize, oh shit, I'm in trouble, and then make my move from there. So, understanding your golf swing, understanding your mistakes in the golf swing, and working on it is a way to get better, and everybody's different. You've heard me say all along, golf swings are fingerprints. If you have a teacher that's saying, do this, but not explaining to you what you're doing wrong, you might have a problem. You might need to start over. As I got further along in my session the other day, you see I start to stretch it out a little bit. I'm trying a graphite 7-iron, and I started to hit some hooks, and it was great. It felt good. But as the ball started going left, you'll start to see I start cheating open a little bit. The ball gets a little far forward, and I start hanging back. Today was much different. It was better. I started really focusing on hitting some low trap hooks. I should have did this the other day. There's pros and cons to practicing, right? I grew up at a golf course that didn't have a range. So how did I learn? I played golf. I found ways to work through problems on the golf course and figure it out. Unfortunately, you get a lot of guys that can hit it great on the driving range, but they don't miss enough on the range to figure out their issues. Then they get out on the golf course, they get a little bit of pressure on them, they tighten up, and they start thinking about these drills that teachers are using that create tension, and they hit it all over the lot. I've talked about it. It's golf, not golf swing. Ton of range pros out there that can't break an egg when it comes to tournaments. Find a way to get the ball in the hole. No, I don't have a pretty golf swing, but I do enough well and it repeats itself. When my short game's on, I'm going to shoot around par. All right, guys. I've been trying to work through an episode. I wanted to talk about Jason Day's vest, the difference between unacceptable and ugly, and how the fashion police are kind of getting involved a little bit, rightfully so, with golf. Unfortunately, with things going on behind the scenes with my personal life and my dad in the hospital, it's been tough to sit down and focus. I'll do my best to address some topics we've been talking about behind the scenes, but I really appreciate all of you. I'm the first to admit social media was the worst thing for me. I'm a guy that likes to hide in my room by myself, watching TV with nobody bothering me. Nobody can call me an asshole if I don't respond to their annoying shit. People nag and I snap, and then I'm the bad guy. Who knows, one of these days my doctors will get it right, and I'll be ready to join society again. Until then, it's practicing behind the camera. I hope what I'm doing is helping. Let's go!